Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. In today's video, I'm going to be reviewing and ranking every Game Pass in Bloxburg. So I'm going to be reviewing the Game Passes on 4 factors. What they do, the price of the Game Pass, is the Game Pass worth it in the long run, and how often will you use the Game Pass. So with all that said, let's get started. So I'm going to be ranking the Game Passes from worst to best. So as you can see, I have all of the Game Passes so I can rank them all fairly. The only one I'm not going to include in this video is the Stereo Game Pass because that has now been taken off. So the Game Pass that is 8th and last on this list is the Transform Plus Game Pass. So let's start with what the Game Pass actually does. So the Transform Plus Game Pass basically enhances the Transform tool. Without the Transform tool, you can only move objects about this far away from where you place them, but with it you can move them all the way over here. You can move them actually anywhere, and you can move them as high up and as low down as you want to. And then the second thing you can do with the Transform Plus Game Pass is move basic shapes and structural items. Now as you can see, this Game Pass really only does 2 very basic things, and the only people who are really going to notice a difference are people who build to an insane level. So next let's look at the price. This is the most expensive Game Pass at 600 Robux, and this is probably one of the main reasons I've put it at last place. You're paying 600 Robux to be able to move some structural shapes and flip them upside down. It's just an absolute scam in my opinion. That is too much for any of the Game Passes in the game. Now, is this Game Pass going to be worth it for you in the long run? Since this is kind of a new Game Pass, I can't really say much on this, but so far I found myself using it once since it's been out for about a couple of weeks now. But at the same time, I should point out I'm not somebody who is a pro builder, so if you're a pro builder then you probably will use this a lot. But for most people who just build normally on Bloxburg or even build well, I don't foresee this being very worth it in the long run. 7th on my list is the Basement Game Pass. So it's pretty obvious what the Basement Game Pass does. You grab a basement and you can put an extra room underground. Now, the reason this is ranked at 7th is really just because of what it does. Yes, it is so cool to have a basement and a room where you can add an extra floor to your house. It's really not that necessary if you get the Multiple Floors Game Pass, which we will get to later on in the video. You get 5 floors with the Multiple Floors Game Pass. The basement is simply adding 1 floor, and I get that it's cool when it's underground, but it's just 1 extra floor. Now, the price of the Game Pass is pretty reasonable. It's only 100 Robux, but again, 100 Robux to have 1 extra floor is just not worth it, especially when you compare it to the Multiple Floors Game Pass, which is 300 Robux for 5 floors. Now, is the Basement Game Pass worth it in the long run? I'd say if you've already got it, then it's probably worth it. You probably use it quite a bit. But if you're thinking about getting any Game Passes, I wouldn't even recommend this one in your first 3. And how often do I use the basement? Honestly, just every now and then if I want to build a trap or if I want to have like a cinema in my house or something. So not too often, but I do use it a fair amount. Coming in at number 6 is the Large Plot Game Pass. So once again, the Big Plot Game Pass is pretty self-explanatory. It increases your plot size from this grey square here to this massive white square. So this Game Pass seems amazing. You're getting more and more space. But this Game Pass is 250 Robux, which is about medium pricing for a Game Pass on Bloxburg. Now I think if you're somebody who wants to have a mega mansion, which is actually quite a lot of people in the game, then you should consider getting this. But if you're just a new player and wondering which Game Passes to get, Large Plot is not necessary because you still have a 30 by 30 square to build your house in. And as you can see, you can still build a pretty big house in this plot. Is it worth it in the long run? Yes, because once you've built one big house, you're going to want to keep building houses that size. And how often do I use this Game Pass? I'd say about 50% of the time. I've got quite a few builds that take up the whole large plot, but then at the same time I have quite a few plots that don't even go out of the small size plot. So this one's quite a tricky one, and that's why I put it at 6th place. It's not a bad Game Pass at all, but it's not necessary for everybody. If you want to build a massive plot like a school or a mega mansion, go for it and get this Game Pass. But if you're just happy having a medium-sized house or even just a large house, then there's not really much point in getting this Game Pass. The 5th Game Pass on my list is Premium. So what does Premium actually do? Premium does quite a few things. If you're a player with Premium, then you will have your bills halved, your daily rewards doubled, a red name tag, increase your donation limit, and you'll be able to choose your plot. So as you can see, a lot of people always say premium's not worth it, but you get 5 pretty good perks with premium. So obviously the best ones are halved bills, double daily rewards, and increased donation limit. Now the pricing of premium is why I put it at 5 and not higher. It is 400 Robux. Now that is pretty expensive for a Game Pass. However, it is nearer the middle of the list rather than the end because it is pretty worth it. Premium is worth it in the long run because if you log in every day, then you're already getting double the money. And also if you log in every day, you're paying half your bills, so you're saving a crazy amount of money. And how often do you use premium? Well, you use it every day. When you come in and pick a plot, you're using it. When you're having your bills halved, you're using it. So this is the type of Game Pass that has a big impact on your day-to-day life in Bloxburg. And that's why it is at number 5. At number 4, we have Marvelous Moods Game Pass. So do you hate stinking in Bloxburg? Because I know I certainly did before this Game Pass was added. As you can see right now, my moods are pretty low, but I don't have any stink bubble around me. So not only does the Marvelous Moods Game Pass give you an option to toggle on and off negative mood effects like stinking and walking slowly, but it actually makes your moods decrease a whole lot slower. And this Game Pass is only 180 Robux, guys. Now, you might be thinking 180 Robux is a little bit on the expensive side, but honestly, this is so worth it, guys. There's no more walking like a slow little slug around the map. But not only this, guys, I use this every day when I'm working in the game. Because if you didn't know, if you have high moods, then you earn more money when you're working. Therefore, you can earn the higher amount of money for a longer time. And that's why Marvelous Moods has made it to number 4. Okay guys, we're now into the top 3 Game Passes, so if I was gonna recommend you to buy any 3 Game Passes, it would be these 3. So number 3 is Multiple Floors. So Multiple Floors was a tricky one, but I put it at number 3 because not only do you get 1 extra floor, you actually get 5 extra floors. So it's pretty simple to explain what Multiple Floors does, but what is the price? The price of Multiple Floors, like I said earlier, is 300 Robux. This is pretty pricey for a Game Pass, but you've got to hear me out with this one. I put this at number 3 because Multiple Floors Game Pass is actually a game changer. So with Multiple Floors Game Pass, you don't need to make bungalows anymore. If you get Multiple Floors Game Pass, you will not understand how you built without it before. Not only can you have a 2 or 3 story house, but you can also have a skyscraper. You can make your towns look amazing. You can build 3-story schools. You can build so many more things that aren't just 1 story. And this is probably one of the most popular Game Passes in the game. If you're driving around the city, you will notice most plots are 2 floors or more. Now, is this worth it in the long run? Absolutely. Once you've got the Game Pass, you can now build multiple floor buildings for as long as you like. And how often do I use the Game Pass? 99% of the time. The only time I wouldn't use this Game Pass is maybe when I'm making a 1-story cafe. Every single one of my builds is 2 stories high. They look more fancy, they look more expensive. This Game Pass unlocks so many doors for everybody. Even if you're not a pro builder, it will make building so much more fun and interesting for you. And that's why it's at number 3. So the second best Game Pass is Advanced Placement. So what does the Advanced Placement Game Pass actually do? Now, unlike the Transform Game Pass, the Advanced Placement Game Pass applies for pretty much every object in build mode. As you can see, I've currently got it turned on. I'm going to turn it off to demonstrate this. Let's say, for example, you're trying to build a kitchen, you're getting counters out, and you're like, oh, right, I'm going to put this here. Oh, wait, I can't. I'm going to put it on the small thing. Oh, still really can't. Then let's say you want to add a fridge in here, and then add some more counters. Oh, you can't. Even if you put it on the small, you can't add any more counters here. Oh, but that's okay. Let's add an oven in. Oh, you can't add an oven in either. And that, guys, is what it is like building without Advanced Placement. It is literally hell. So that's why I've ranked Advanced Placement at number 2. Advanced Placement is a Game Pass that I think everybody who is going to build anything on Bloxburg should get. So how much is the Advanced Placement Game Pass? When I looked, I was surprised. It's only 200 Robux. That is probably the best priced Game Pass on the game. Now, I've had this Game Pass for years, and is the Game Pass worth it in the long run? Absolutely yes. Whenever they add a new addition to the game, for example resizing shapes, they only let you do this with Advanced Placement. Without Advanced Placement, you cannot resize objects. So Bloxburg actually keeps adding to this Game Pass with the new updates. And how often do I use this Game Pass? Every single time I build. I'm not even joking. Even if I'm just building the tiniest thing for a video, I will almost always need to use the Advanced Placement Game Pass. And at number 1 on my list, the best Game Pass is Excellent Employee. So you might notice the change of outfit. Now, Excellent Employee is by far my favourite Game Pass and the best Game Pass in my opinion. This Game Pass not only makes you level up twice as quickly, it also pretty much doubles your earnings. So for example, at level 50, without Excellent Employee, you earn $2,100 a pizza. However, with Excellent Employee, you earn $3,100 a pizza. You're earning $1,000 more per pizza. So let's say you deliver 100 pizzas. You've just earned an extra $100,000 with Excellent Employee. Now what is the price of this Game Pass? 300 Robux. So again, pretty mid-range. 300 Robux to completely transform your working life in Bloxburg, to make you literally rich, is so worth it in my opinion. Let's say you were thinking of buying money, and 300 Robux is this twice. So you could either buy $20,000 with 300 Robux, or you could spend 300 Robux on the Excellent Employee Game Pass and probably earn that back in a 1-hour shift. So in 1 hour, you've already made the Game Pass worth your while. And how often do I use it? Well, Excellent Employee is always on, so I use it every single time I'm working, and trust me, I do still, even after years of having it, notice the difference. It is insane how much more money you get paid. So in reverse order, the final ranking of all the Game Passes is: in 8th place is Transform Plus, in 7th place is Basements, 6th place is Large Plot, 5th place is Premium, 4th place is Marvelous Moods, 3rd place is Multiple Floors, 2nd place is Advanced Placement, and 1st place is Excellent Employee. So if you're thinking about getting any Game Passes, I really hope this video helped you. Of course, this was just my opinion, but I did try to weigh up both sides of each Game Pass to make this as accurate and fair as possible. So I really hope you all enjoyed this video, and I'll see you all in the next one.